We're finally going to finish the fight in Star Fox Zero.
Excellent.
You excited?
I'm happy to see what we got here.
Episode 18 marks the end of Star Fox Zero and our zany adventure through the Lylat system in order to defeat Andross in a multitude of different spaceships.
Except they're going with a black Arrowwing.
General, mind explaining what's going on?
There's lots of important plot going on, so we should be quiet.
I suppose I'd better. We originally developed this teleportation device with Andross to bring peace to the galaxy. But he grew mad with power and claimed the technology for his own twisted purposes. When we discovered the truth, we decided to teleport Andross to another dimension, and it worked. We could never have done it without your father, Fox. But now Andross is back, and he's brought some new toys with him. He's even gained control of our teleporters. If this continues, the entire Lylat system will be in his clutches. We must do whatever it takes to stop Andross and destroy this technology. We need you, Fox. Will you help us?
Count on it. Andross won't get away with this.
Kind of a dick move to teleport a guy into another
Venom itself
dimension.
was one huge teleportation device. Surely something here can lead us to Andross. Hurry, Fox. Time is critical.
Welcome to Venom. This entire rock is Venom. This is it.
It's a bit smaller than I remember.
Yeah, it's gotten a bit of a downgrade from a planet, a gas giant, to whatever this is.
This is like an asteroid.
Yeah, it's barely even like a meteor or a comet.
Yet it deserves a name.
But this is it.
Alright, I'm guessing you're going to have to fly around popping things like Super Mario Galaxy style.
This is the whole thing. We're having fun. I'm not gonna lie, Venom is probably the most disappointing level in the game.
Oh yeah, you're like... I was expecting something a bit more grandiose than this.
Yeah, I mean, Star Fox... Here's the thing. Venom in Star Fox had a bit of a bar set. In Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, it was really intense. Everything, like nothing about it really made sense. It had a really oppressive atmosphere. There was just like a bunch of shit with pillars that like just moved by themselves. The architecture in the buildings, they just didn't really work for whatever reason. They would just move by themselves. It was very surreal. And then Star Fox 64, it was very intense. Everything was coming at you really fast. There was a lot of everything. Either that or you took the hard route and you fought Starwolf. But in Venom for Star Fox Zero, it's mostly just this.
That is very disappointing.
Like I said, Venom had something of a bar to at least reach, but not only did it not set the bar, or rather set a new one, and it didn't like meet the bar. It didn't even meet the bar halfway.
It probably does. It probably like, oh, we're gonna give up. We're just gonna slap on a meteor, fight Andross. You're done.
Yeah, I'm not like Star Fox Zero does a lot of things right, and I do love the game. That's why I LP'd it. But Venom is easily it's a huge letdown.
The biggest letdown is we don't get to fight Starwolf one final time on a 4-on-4.
Yeah, really though. So now we're just like we turned off the teleporter, so now we're gonna go fight Andross.
And that's it.
Yep.
All right, that's
as far as you go, Star.
Well, there we go.
I do hope you like our...
Fucking finally.
So this is where we fight, or rather this is where we're introduced to the Hunter. I don't know why Starwolf added this functionality to the Wolfen. It seems pretty unnecessary. I mean, the Chicken Walker is pretty unnecessary. I'm definitely not going to use it in this fight.
Starwolf. Why am I not?
Well, because the Chicken Walker was done, so they're gonna do it. They're gonna a little bit of a kind of a cute moment there. All three of them running on the ground, and the wolf chasing you down.
So this fight actually is really entertaining.
It is. I mean, I was wondering if this is like a fake away to be like, let's go fight Andross, and then I recalled, well, you did say that we get introduced to these forms in like back when we were doing the other video at Fortuna or whatever.
Ficina.
Oh, Andrew's dead. And you know, and I was like, I wonder when they're gonna show up with Andross, like a 5-on-1. But I don't know, I like fighting Starwolf and all, but I still think it would have been cooler with the other three flying around too.
That's true, but this also makes it a little more challenging. And honestly, this game could use that. It's always pretty easy, especially with
the gorilla fight. Really?
Well, I mean, with a few exceptions. The gorilla fight actually is really poorly balanced because everything else is fairly easy, and then the gorilla fight just comes out of nowhere, and then it fucking slaps your shit in.
You're leaving Wolf alive to last?
There's a reason for that.
Perhaps
It's not like poetic or anything.
It's not for effect. So like, just you and me, Wolf. Your friends are out of the game.
No, it's not for effect or anything. There's a mechanical reason why I want him alive.
Are you gonna do Wolf? Are you gonna do the thing? You gonna do the teleporter warper thing?
Oh, the lightning tornado?
Yeah.
No, he's not going to do that. None of the Star Wolf fighters use their gimmicks in this fight.
Trench run. No.
So I want him in the trench because if you shoot down any Star Wolf member like that, I'm really good at flying. But if you shoot down any Star Wolf member in the trench, then you get a medal.
Huh. Kind of a strange condition for that.
Yeah, it's kind of out of nowhere. Honestly, it's also really annoying. They don't do it often enough.
There he goes.
I get him this time.
I got you this time, you cocky little freak.
Bested by a fox. Impossible.
That's kind of racist, Wolf.
Yeah, more casual racism in this game.
Well done. Alright, well, that was exciting. That was fun.
That was fun.
Venom aside, that last fight was fun.
No, well, aside from that one fight, I'm going to stand by what I said, and that Venom is hugely disappointing.
I'm coming for you, Andross.
We're all counting on you.
Fun fact, in Star Fox 64, in the hard route for Venom, if you were on a very specific part of the map when you shot down the last Starwolf pilot, it was possible to softlock because Spox would just circle around the pit eternally. You wouldn't be able to get in.
I recall that, yes. I recall. I think I got that once. And I was like, are you shitting me?
So, do you remember the hard path in Venom where after you go inside the planet, there is multiple paths for you to take in order to get to Andross, and depending on which path you took, you got multiple rewards. Or rather, different rewards.
Right.
That prepared you for the fight. Well, it gives you the illusion of choice here. Like this sector is called the Illusion Corridor, or the Illusory Corridor, or something like that. There is actually no choice. You have to take a very specific path. It's left, right, left, I would think.
To get the medal?
Well, to go forward. If you take a wrong move anywhere, it just sends you back to the beginning.
The whole beginning, jeez. So you have to keep dodging, being like, where am I going? Is there any tip whatsoever of what the path you should take is?
No, you have to.
By pattern.
No, there's nothing. There's no pattern. There's nothing. You just have to trial and error it.
No, but that's what I mean. I mean, you see these different things. You're like, I'm seeing the same exact pattern again, so I must have worked back.
Right. Well, yeah. It's also very visually obvious that it sends you back, because like everything goes white, and then you hear this whoosh sound, and then yeah, you do see all the patterns again. And it's a really big dick move because in order to get one of the medals, you have to get it all right on the first try.
Ugh. Memorize the path, or hey, sup, James? I bet it's you.
If you go any farther,
that's the medal that you get for doing it right. I like James' design because he has, it's a throwback to the old Star Fox 64 graphics. If you look at his face, he has that weird metal thing across both his cheeks and atop his head, and it looks like it's straight from Star Fox 64.
You're determined to see this through. Very well.
That's pretty
Follow
neat.
me, Fox.
Also, the reflection on his glasses don't move. Although I think that's just regular physics, honestly.
They're cool glasses, that's why.
They're aviators. He is a pilot.
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox. With my mighty intellect, the universe shall soon be mine to command as I see fit. Proposing is truly a death sentence. Just ask your father.
Andross, according to the size dimensions at the bottom of that Super Nintendo screen, Andross was the biggest boss by far. I don't know what made him so big.
Well, I was gonna say, because I remember in Star Fox 64, you took the easy route. It was just a robot,
Yeah.
and that would have made more sense. But the thing is that Andross detached his own head, grew it by several sizes, and that is obviously his best scientific mind genius could accomplish.
Yeah, just make himself really big and detached.
From the cockpit, Fox.
I'm guessing it's a tip here. Why are we in the cockpit mode exactly?
So the only way that we'll see this glowing platform is if we're in cockpit mode, and glowing platforms show you inside to the place where you fight Andross. And this is Andross. This is the robot head. So you might think that maybe like we did the wrong route or something, but this is the whole fight.
Does he go brain mode with eyes?
He does not.
Ah.
He doesn't turn into a brain with eyes. That was such an outlandish concept, and could you imagine something like that with HD graphics in Star Fox Zero?
That would have been pretty freaky as shit, is what it would have been.
Well, it would have been, but it would have been awesome. But now we just have the robot head, and now we shoot his hands, just like in Star Fox 64, which, I mean, yeah, I do get that it's supposed to be, like, this game is a remake, basically, of Star Fox 64, so it is supposed to be somewhat the same, at least thematically. But they really honestly couldn't come up with something better than this. This is one of the reasons why Venom is so disappointing, is because the fight with Andross just makes it... One, it makes no sense. Two, it's just boring. Like, look, I'm gonna fly in, then I'm gonna turn into the walker. Now I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stand here and I'm just gonna shoot his hands. Also, more casual racism.
I think there's a point to be made here. Is that's why they keep talking about it. A fox taking orders from a dog? Why, this is Zootopia all over again. It's like counter, counter, grab, counter.
This isn't exciting. I'm just standing there.
Well, you know how to fight him. I mean, I imagine if this was like a first timer playing it, it'd be like, ah, oh god, ah.
Like, yeah, I did think of that this game wasn't designed for me as its audience, it was designed for younger people, for the younger generation. But if that were the case, then don't you think that they should have made a whole other game rather than remake a game that the adults would know?
I think it's like just a little bit, just you're trying to get the market of both. You really, that's what they're doing. They're just trying to get both markets, which is not a bad idea, honestly.
Well, whether or not that was what they were going for, they failed because this fight is boring. Look, alright, he's going to lunge for it and then he's going to bite me and I'm not going to see that one coming, so fair enough there. But he's going to do something else pretty stupid. He's going to fucking make me play jump rope. I'm not moving, this isn't fast pace. I can't hit him until he shows his weak point, whereas that was actually kind of true in Star Fox 64, where you could only shoot his hands when he let you. But once those were gone, you could shoot him in the eyes all you wanted, and that was actually a thing in Star Fox for the Super Nintendo too. His eyes were his weak point, but they aren't here. You shoot him in the mouth when he's open, then you fly across, and then you shoot him in the medulla oblongata.
So his brain is there, the medulla oblongata.
I'm pretty sure that's just like a reference to the old Star Fox 64 boss, but I'm sure that's not actually a thing.
It could be.
Well, I mean, look, you can see straight into his head. Do you see a brain?
Well, that's why he probably computerized himself completely. I guess that is the scientific genius. He uploaded his consciousness in a robotic body.
Well, I think you're thinking about it harder than Nintendo did.
At least it is a somewhat amusing that... No! Well, never mind. My thought is done. Amusement over.
That is the whole fight.
I guess it would have been tougher if you had the normal arming.
It wouldn't have. It just would have taken longer.
Use your boost to escape the explosions.
Let you escape. You will perish here with me. You won't live long enough to regret your foolhardy bravado, Fox.
So you would think that this part of the fight would be something exciting? Because if you think about it on paper, it looks really exciting, but it's not. He's gonna lunge at you, you move to the side. There, that's it. That's the whole fight.
I would have thought that for Nintendo to be a real big move, they would have put obstacles coming at you, and you would have to glance at the cockpit periodically, like, oh crap, rocks coming from the front.
You know what game also did that? The Lion King for the Super Nintendo, and everyone hated that level. because it was hard as fuck.
You have to make it back to your friends, Fox. Dad!
Save me, Daddy.
This part's pretty cool, though. You have to do this manually.
Like the backflip?
Yeah, and the shooting him. If you don't do it, then eventually he just dies. Like, that's
Fox?
it. No, Andross.
I guess James is like, oh fine, I'll fucking do it. Can't take a fucking hint, this kid. You did it!
If you don't shoot him in the head when he turns around, then you just get mission complete. So that's how you get mission accomplished.
Fox, you're alright!
Just like before, rejoining the team.
Way to go!
Is he gonna look around for his dad?
That was some fine work out there.
How did they know we were here?
They knew you were in Venom.
Something wrong, Fox?
Well, yeah, but they didn't know where Venom was.
No, nothing.
Probably
Nothing's
probably
wrong.
popped in. Oh, nothing's wrong. Same as Star Fox 64, like you were saying, trying to get that nostalgia factor going.
Nothing that requires a psychiatric evaluation.
The final battle. I was expecting Venom to be like a Death Star sort of thing. The way it looks.
You would expect a lot from Venom, but that was it.
You didn't get the highest
medal-
score, but you get all 5 medals. What's
The
up with
medal, the medal was actually 170, not 200.
that? Oh, okay. You just happened to get an exact 200 before.
Yep, and I got that medal last time when I was trying to unlock Starwolf and Pigma.
Well done.
So yeah, we're done with Star Fox Zero. So what did you think of the game?
Like an honest assessment.
An honest assessment, yeah.
I figured that it was quite decent for what I was trying to do. I mean, some ideas, like Zonus, were not that great, but other ideas seemed to work out just fine. Like, you know, there was creativity with the new maps, like the that one level sector beta, was it?
Sector Beta, yeah.
That was a fun-filled romp of destruction and death. There were there were interesting like ideas of new mechanics to be had, but there was some also at the same time some BS moves to get your medals if you wanted to complete the game.
Right.
Whereas in Star Fox 64, the hardest thing you really had to do was flying through the rings, or flying through the arches in the first level. But
Personally, I would say the harder thing to do would be to fly through all the teleporter rings in Medio.
oh yeah, but I mean that in the sense of like, oh, this does something, I should try to go through them. Like there's no it was clear indication that you could have done something by going through them.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
But whereas in this game, like a lot of the stuff is really kind of vague to get the medals or the rewards, you know? But overall, you know, I wouldn't buy it myself. I mean, I don't have a Wii U in the first place, but I probably would pass on it. Simply because it's a bit of retreading old ground. There's not that much new stuff to justify what it does. Not saying it's not done well, just saying that I personally wasn't gung-ho about it, that's all. So, it honestly, kind of an average game for me.
Kind of an average game. Like I said, I actually really loved the game. There was a whole lot about it that I really enjoyed. I didn't mind the controls. A lot of people point to the controls as being really bad because there's always motion controls. Those are always on. Can't turn those off. The fact that it relies on the cockpit, that's kind of annoying, but you know, you just kind of get over that. I appreciate that when it tried new ideas, it tried new ideas. So I appreciate Zonus for what it was, even though it kind of failed.
We are forever in your debt. There's a place for you in the Cornerian army, if you want it.
Sorry, General. We like doing things our own way.
The Great Fox is ready to go.
Ready to go!
Star Fox, move out!
So you remember the scene in Star Fox 64 where they chased after the Great Fox?
Yep. Now they're under walkers.
This scene sounds and looks ridiculous.
This is not Indiana Jones riding into the sunset, that's for sure.
Why are they running after the Great Fox in their fighter jets?
Instead of flying out, you mean?
Yeah.
because they were like, obviously whoever was the director was like, I want a goddamn reshot of the Star Fox 64, and they're like, but then it would just be too similar, and they're like, we have chicken walkers, use them. Yep, same picture and everything, even Slippy falling behind. So yeah, you were saying you like it for what it tried doing.
I like it that it tried something different. Even though it didn't work out, I appreciate the effort. That's one of the reasons why Venom was so disappointing to me, is because it was the most bare bones effort imaginable.
They tried something different.
They didn't.
No, they did. They made it super small and a fight with Starwolf, and that's it.
They made it different by making it worse.
Zonus was worse, but you're the same.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Zonus wasn't the same thing. It tried something different, but Venom, it was just like the fight with Starwolf, and then you go through a corridor, and then you fight Andross. And Andross didn't even do anything particularly interesting.
I think you're jaded.
Well, I was expecting a little bit more than what we got from Venom.
Well, at least this is not No Man's Sky. You know what you were getting when you got this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of didn't. If they told me what I was expecting for Venom, I would have said, what? Might have thought twice. But for the rest of the game, honestly, I did enjoy it.
Good. Well, I mean, if the overall experience was good, then it was worth the price. I think that's what it comes down to.
It doesn't have too much replayability, though. The biggest draw for replayability for Star Fox 64 was the fact that you could do a campaign, finger quotes, in like 15 minutes.
Oh. What wingman?
Satoru Iwata. CEO of Japan.
Nintendo Japan. Died during the game, making this game?
He died towards the end of development, yeah.
Wow.
He died of... I can't remember.
Probably
but,
cancer or something. Something that strikes you down, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
That is kind of sad, but it is a kind thing to kind of put there. Even though a reader going there would like, are they talking about James McLeod?
But no. Do you know what Iwata contributed to Nintendo other than the fact that he was president?
I don't know. What?
He was a developer back during the Pokemon days. If you know anything about Pokemon Blue and Red, they were notoriously poorly programmed. It was just garbage, basically.
Okay.
And what Iwata did, he did two things. First of all, he rewrote all of Pokemon's entire mechanics by hand with no documentation in order to make Pokemon Stadium. So he remade all of Pokemon just for Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium? Not Pokemon Gold, Silver?
No, well, about that. He optimized Pokemon's data so much that they could actually, like, the reason why you could go back to Kanto on Pokemon Gold and Silver is because Iwata optimized the game so incredibly well that they had enough data on the cartridge in order to do that, whereas Red and Blue, they had the same amount of hard drive space, I think, but it was just so poorly optimized that they filled it to the brim.
So Iwata, in other words, was a boss.
He was a wizard, is what he was.
Well, then he was a true leader for Nintendo.
He was.
Like I said, I do enjoy the game for what it had to offer. I wouldn't buy it myself. Kind of a shame that, I'm guessing in your case, because you're the one who bought it after all, I mean, it's kind of a shame that you didn't seem to get the enjoyment as much as you were hoping to get.
No, I did. Just because I don't like Venom, doesn't mean I didn't like the rest of the game.
Well, how much of an effect does the final level of a game, or the final moments of a game, paint to the whole experience? This is like something I've seen discussed before. Some people say that the end of something, if you're leaving the movie or leaving the game with that, it ruins everything else that followed.
That is very true. Like the first and last impressions, they're crazy important. But you have to also look at the thing as a whole.
Of course.
Star Fox Zero did make a good first impression, at least in my opinion. Like the first episode, the first level was really good. All the levels after that were really good. Even Zonus, at least Zonus tried something different, even though it didn't necessarily work out. It's just, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's what's important at the end, like I said before.
Like, Fortuna was amazing, Sector Beta was amazing, Ficino was good.
Any levels in particular other than Zonus that you thought they could have bettered other than Venom?
Probably Area 3. Yeah, I'm going to say Area 3.
Alright. Game over, but we still have a minute of video. What's left?
Well, I have a question. Have you wondered how much money Star Fox gets paid for their kills?
Right. I remember it was like 64 times whatever you killed before.
Well, it turns out it's exactly 640 space bucks.
Per kill?
Per kill.
Nice. Sign that bill with your chip.
You can make that stamp as inaccurate as you wanted to.
Can you slap it like on the top of the document?
It has to be at least close to the circle.
Oh, okay.
This screen is what you get when you get all the medals, and do you know what the other reward is?
No, I'm not sure. What is it?
When you get all the medals, you unlock the Retro R-Wing and the Black R-Wing without the amiibos.
Well, there you go. You got everything.
That's it.
You 100%ed it. Good job.
That's Star Fox Zero.
Thank you.
I hope someone else enjoyed it as much as I did.